Most men grow up believing one dangerous idea: that attraction is earned through kindness alone. They think if they give enough attention, enough validation, enough effort, they will automatically be valued. But history tells a different story. Machiavelli never wrote fairy tales about human nature. He studied power, desire, and behavior, not what people say they want, but what they actually respond to. And his most uncomfortable observation was simple. People are not attracted to words. They are attracted to emotional experience, including women. Not because women are manipulative, not because relationships are games, but because human psychology, male or female, follows emotion before logic. And here is the brutal truth. White right-pointing backhand index attraction is rarely about who needs someone. It is about who does not need validation. The moment a man begins chasing approval, his perceived value quietly decreases. Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. The more you depend on external acceptance, the less powerful your presence becomes, because desire is drawn toward stability, toward calm confidence, toward emotional strength, not desperation. Part 2. Why attention loses value. Modern culture teaches men to impress. Message first. Reply instantly. Over-explain feelings. Constantly prove interest. But Machiavelli observed something different about human behavior. What is easily obtained is rarely deeply valued. When attention becomes unlimited, it stops feeling special. This is not manipulation. It is psychology. Scarcity creates curiosity. Mystery creates attraction. And emotional independence creates respect. Think about it. The person who is always available becomes predictable, but the person who has purpose, direction, and boundaries becomes intriguing. Stoicism teaches emotional self-control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When a man stops reacting emotionally to every situation, he becomes centered, and centered energy feels safe, strong, grounded. Women, like all humans, naturally gravitate toward emotional security, not loud confidence, not arrogance, but quiet certainty. Part 3. The hidden power of emotional discipline. Here is where most men misunderstand attraction. They think dominance means control, but Stoics rejected control over others. True strength is control over yourself. Machiavelli believed influence comes from emotional mastery, because people test unconsciously, not through words, but through behavior. They observe. How easily are you shaken? How quickly do you react? How desperate are you to be liked? Every emotional reaction sends a signal. If small disagreements disturb you, you appear unstable. If silence makes you anxious, you appear dependent. If rejection breaks your confidence, you appear uncertain. But when you remain calm, when you do not chase validation, when you respect yourself regardless of outcome, something changes. You stop trying to win attention. And paradoxically, attention starts coming to you, because emotional discipline signals high internal value. The Stoic man does not force attraction. He becomes someone naturally attractive through character. Part 4. The real thing women want. The final insight. Despite what social media claims, women do not all want the same thing. But human psychology shares universal patterns. People are drawn toward individuals who make them feel safe, respected, emotionally grounded, and inspired. And the trait connecting all of these? Self-respect. Not dominance. Not wealth alone. Not appearance alone. Self-respect. A man who knows his boundaries, who values his time, who does not beg for attention, who walks away from disrespect calmly. Machiavelli understood. Respect precedes attraction. And Stoicism teaches. Inner peace precedes respect. When a man builds purpose, discipline, and emotional stability, he stops asking, "Why don't they value me?" Because his behavior quietly teaches people how to treat him. He doesn't convince others of his worth. He demonstrates it, without noise, without chasing, without fear of loss. And that is a brutal truth, not about women, but about human nature itself. Attraction grows where strength meets calmness, where confidence meets restraint, where independence meets kindness. Final message. Stop trying to impress everyone. Start becoming someone who is difficult to shake. Build your body. Build your discipline. Build your mind. Because the moment you stop seeking validation, you stop being controlled by it. And when that happens, respect, attraction, and influence follow naturally. Not forced, not chased, earned, quietly. Most men misunderstand attraction because they listen to advice built on comfort, not reality. They are told, be nicer, give more attention, show constant interest. But Machiavelli studied something far more honest. He observed that humans rarely chase what is already guaranteed. And attraction, whether romantic, social, or psychological, follows the same rule. People value what feels earned, not what feels freely handed. This is not cruelty. It is human nature. Why emotional availability can backfire. Many men believe emotional openness automatically builds connection. But there's a difference between emotional honesty and emotional dependency. When a man quickly reveals everything, when he constantly seeks reassurance, when his mood depends on another person's response, he unknowingly transfers power away from himself. Stoicism warns against this. The Stoics believed attachment becomes suffering when your emotional stability depends on someone else's approval. Because the moment your happiness relies on another person, you lose psychological freedom. And freedom is attractive. Dependency is not. Women, like all humans, instinctively sense emotional pressure, not through logic, through feeling. When someone feels responsible for managing your emotions, attraction slowly turns into obligation. And obligation rarely creates desire. The hidden role of mystery. Machiavelli understood the influence of mystery long before modern psychology confirmed it. He noticed that people are fascinated by what they cannot fully predict. Mystery does not mean manipulation. It means having a life that exists beyond one person's attention. A man who has goals, routines, ambitions, and inner direction naturally creates curiosity, because his identity is not centered around being liked. He is moving somewhere, and movement creates intrigue. Think about it carefully. The person constantly explaining themselves appears uncertain. The person comfortable with silence appears confident. Silence communicates self-trust, and self-trust is magnetic. Why over-explaining destroys respect? One of Machiavelli's harshest lessons was this. Those who constantly defend themselves appear weaker, even when they are right. Many men fall into this trap. They justify every decision. They explain every action. They try to prevent misunderstanding at all costs. But psychologically, excessive explanation signals fear of losing approval. The Stoics practiced the opposite. They allowed misunderstanding when necessary, because their self-worth was internal, not negotiated externally. A man grounded in Stoic philosophy does not rush to correct every opinion about him. He understands something powerful. People respect consistency more than persuasion. Your behavior over time speaks louder than any explanation ever could. Emotional stability, the true source of attraction. Here lies the deeper truth Machiavelli hinted at but rarely softened. Attraction grows where emotional chaos meets emotional stability. In a world full of reactions, drama, and unpredictability, calmness becomes rare, and rarity creates value. When conflict appears, most people react immediately. They argue, defend, chase resolution. But the Stoic man pauses. He observes. He responds only when necessary. This emotional discipline creates a powerful psychological effect. Others begin adjusting their behavior around him, not because he demands respect, but because his presence naturally commands it. The illusion of chasing approval. Social media has intensified one dangerous habit: performing for validation. Many men unconsciously compete for attention, likes, messages, reassurance. But Machiavelli would argue that visible hunger for approval lowers perceived authority. Why? Because power belongs to those who appear self-sufficient. The less someone needs external confirmation, the more others assume hidden value exists. This is why confidence cannot be faked. It comes from building a life that feels meaningful even when nobody is watching. When your purpose exists independent of attention, you stop chasing attraction, and attraction begins chasing you. The Stoic shift. Stoicism does not teach emotional coldness. It teaches emotional sovereignty. You care deeply, but you are not controlled. You love sincerely, but you do not abandon yourself. You invest energy, but never at the cost of dignity. This balance changes everything, because people do not fall for perfection. They respond to strength combined with calm authenticity. Closing thought of part 2. Machiavelli's brutal truth was never about controlling women. It was about understanding human behavior honestly. People move toward those who seem complete on their own. Not lonely, not desperate, not performing. Complete. And the moment a man stops asking, "How do I make someone want me?" he begins asking, "How do I become someone worth wanting?" That question changes his life. There is something most men never realize. Attraction is rarely decided by words. It is decided by moments of pressure, moments where character becomes visible. Machiavelli believed that people constantly test each other, not consciously, but instinctively. These are not planned tests. They are emotional experiments, and they reveal who holds inner strength and who depends on approval. The first test, emotional control. Imagine this situation. Someone challenges you, disagrees with you publicly, teases you, or ignores your message. Most men react instantly. They defend themselves. They argue. They try to regain attention. But reaction exposes something deeper. It shows emotional dependence. The Stoics taught that the person who controls his reaction controls the situation. When a man stays calm under emotional pressure, something subtle happens. Respect increases, because calmness signals internal stability. Machiavelli observed that people trust those who remain composed when emotions rise, not because silence wins arguments, but because composure suggests hidden strength. The second test, boundaries. Many men fear saying no. They worry that disagreement will push people away, so they over-accommodate. They cancel plans, change opinions, accept disrespect disguised as humor. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Without boundaries, attraction slowly fades. Why? Because boundaries define value. Stoicism teaches that self-respect begins where people learn your limits. A man who never protects his time unknowingly communicates that his time has little worth. But a man who calmly refuses what violates his standards becomes unpredictable in a powerful way. He cannot be controlled, and independence creates admiration. The third test, scarcity of attention. Machiavelli understood something modern psychology now confirms. Attention is currency. The more freely it is given, the less valuable it feels. Many men believe constant communication strengthens connection. Yet excessive availability removes emotional tension, the very element that fuels curiosity. When someone knows they can access you anytime, your presence stops feeling special. The Stoic man lives differently. He invests attention intentionally. He responds, but he does not hover. He cares, but he does not chase. His absence occasionally reminds others of his value. And absence, when balanced with authenticity, strengthens emotional impact. The fourth test, independence. One of the strongest unconscious tests is simple. Does this person have a life beyond me? People are naturally drawn toward individuals who appear self-directed. Goals, discipline, purpose. These create gravitational pull. When a man abandons his priorities to maintain approval, attraction weakens. But when he continues building his life regardless of external validation, he becomes psychologically compelling. Because independence signals security, and security feels safe to be around. The fifth test, handling uncertainty. Humans often introduce uncertainty unintentionally. Delayed responses, changing moods, mixed signals. These moments reveal emotional maturity. An insecure person panics. They overthink, seek reassurance, demand clarity immediately. But Stoicism teaches patience. Not passive waiting, but controlled response. The man who remains steady despite uncertainty demonstrates emotional resilience. He shows that his identity does not collapse when situations become unclear, and resilience creates attraction more reliably than charm ever could. The deep reality Machiavelli saw. Machiavelli's harsh insight was this: people rarely choose based on promises. They choose based on emotional experience. How someone feels around you determines everything. If your presence feels calm, grounded, and secure, people lean closer. If your presence feels anxious or needy, they instinctively create distance. This is not manipulation. It is psychological gravity. Stoic transformation. The goal is not to play games. The goal is self-mastery. A Stoic man does not try to pass tests. He becomes a type of person who naturally succeeds without trying, because he no longer performs for acceptance. He operates from internal certainty. He speaks less, but means more. He reacts slower, but appears stronger. He desires connection, but never sacrifices dignity. And slowly, the world begins treating him differently. Closing thought of part 3. The greatest shift happens when a man realizes attraction is not created by chasing interest. It is created by becoming emotionally unshakable. Machiavelli understood power. Stoicism teaches peace. When these two combine, a man stops trying to impress people, and people begin trying to understand him. There comes a moment in every man's life when he realizes something uncomfortable. The world does not respond to who you say you are. It responds to who you consistently become. Machiavelli understood power. The Stoics understood mastery. And when these two ideas meet, a man transformed completely. The final truth about attraction. Most men spend years trying to understand women. But the real question was never about understanding others. It was about understanding yourself. Because attraction is not created through techniques. It is born from emotional certainty. People feel drawn toward individuals who are internally complete. Not perfect, not flawless, but whole. The man who no longer begs for validation becomes rare. And rarity creates value. Why detachment creates respect. Stoicism teaches an idea that sounds simple but changes everything. Do not cling to what you cannot control. You cannot control emotions. You cannot control opinions. You cannot control whether someone stays or leaves. But you can control your response. The moment a man stops trying to force outcomes, his presence changes. He listens more calmly, speaks more intentionally, moves through life without desperation. And paradoxically, this detachment makes people move closer, because nothing feels safer than someone who is emotionally stable. The dangerous freedom of self-respect. Machiavelli warned that people often exploit visible weakness, not always intentionally, but human nature moves toward advantage. When a man abandons his standards to keep someone interested, he slowly teaches others how to treat him. However, when he quietly protects his dignity, something powerful happens. He becomes unpredictable, not emotional, not reactive, simply unwilling to trade self-respect for temporary approval. And that energy changes every interaction. Respect arrives before attraction. Always. The Stoic man's hidden advantage. The Stoic man does not compete loudly. He improves silently. While others chase attention, he builds discipline. While others argue, he refines patience. While others seek validation, he strengthens identity. Over time, this creates an invisible authority. People sense it without knowing why. Because confidence is not spoken. It is felt. The lesson most men learn too late. You do not win by becoming someone else's ideal. You win by becoming aligned with your own values. When you respect your time, others respect your presence. When you respect your peace, others respect your boundaries. When you respect yourself, you stop fearing loss. And a man who does not fear loss cannot be manipulated. That is true freedom. The real meaning behind Machiavelli's brutal truth. Machiavelli never encouraged cruelty. He revealed reality. People respond to strength, clarity, and emotional stability. Stoicism adds a missing piece. Power without inner peace destroys a man. But peace combined with strength creates wisdom. The goal was never domination. The goal is mastery over self. Final message. Stop chasing approval. Stop explaining your worth. Stop proving yourself to people who are still searching for their own identity. Instead, become calm. Become disciplined. Become grounded. Let your actions speak longer than your words ever could. Because the strongest man in any room is not the loudest. It is the one who needs nothing, yet gives respect freely. If this mindset speaks to you, you are already walking the Stoic path. Welcome to Quiet Stories, where silence builds power. Subscribe and continue becoming the man the world cannot ignore.